all good. Um, awesome. Okay, and then whoever my KW person is says she cannot hear me. Okay, so and
I
she's here.
think,
It's all good.
okay, hold on. I've got the trick to fix it all. Okay.
Oh, I like that. I'm excited about it.
I mean, you just log off and log back on. That's all it is. It's not super fancy, but it works every time when audio disconnects. I'll tell them
All
that.
right, here comes another one. There we go. All right. Hello,
Hey,
another person. This is exciting. Hey, DJ.
I know. Sorry, my my Zoom had to update, so it went through a whole reboot. I hate.
I have every Monday morning, I have my team because I still have a sales team. We have our meeting and we started like a whole minute late, which when you're a bold coach is very late. And it's yeah, same deal. There was an update, I'm sorry. All right. All right. So look, we're waiting for all sorts of people. I don't know what's happening, and we're gonna roll through it together. Thank you guys. Here comes another one. Thank you for being here today. I'm super excited. I've had an opportunity to talk to some of you guys one-on-one. I haven't connected with everybody, and at some point I will. Hey, Joanne.
Hey.
So here's out of the people that I've got on here, who has launched a bold before as like on the leadership side? Who has launched or who hasn't actually? There's a better question. Who hasn't launched a bold? Anyone? So you've all done it before? Okay, cool, sweet. Nodding heads, that's great. So would it be all right if we did things a little bit differently this time, if it means that we could get the bold sold out walking into step one? Would you be open to something new? Yes?
Absolutely.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nobody seems super upset. Great. So that's the idea. And by the way, the something new is probably some things you've done before. Here's what I find. Here's what I've found over time. Most leadership, and I think it's normally the bold coach's fault, by the way, so hear that part first. I feel like most of the time leadership is running in 12 different directions at any given moment, just in regard to bold. And because of that, we get very discombobulated results. And my goal is to make this super simple and give you very clear things to do and limited things to do so that we have great success. So that's my goal, and we'll talk about that today. And yet the first thing I want to do, and bear with me, it's important to me that I understand who you guys are and what your market is like. No one bold is the same. No leaders are the same. No city or market area is the same. And so I'd really love to hear from a couple of you. You don't all have to speak, and yet I would love some interaction here because me talking for the whole time is not fun. What is your market like? What are you excited about in regards to bold? Like, what are you hoping that bold does for you and or your market center? Who will start? No wrong, no right.
I think it's a critical time for it right now. As we're all experiencing a shifted market, so many of our agents are nervous about what's to come. And they're looking for ways to take control of their business and feel like they have some say in taking market share and taking ownership. So I think bold is going to be great for their mindset.
Okay, so mindset. What else? Give me at least one more. What do you think? What are you hoping it does for you?
I'm going to be super honest. So I'm the OP and DJ is the team leader. So we've got one market center here talking about this, but our market center is very into ninja selling and had some resistance towards bold, quite a bit of resistance. So my hope is that we can get a fresh group of people in here and we can have a different narrative around bold and get some of our people a little bit more bought into the models that Keller Williams has, because I know a lot of the stuff that Ninja Selling has and Bold has all interacts with each other.
Yeah. So and knowing that I didn't write Bold, I'm not Diana Kokoska, I'm not John Prescott, you will not hurt my feelings. Where's the pushback? Or what is the pushback specifically?
DJ, you want to talk about it?
So I think that, the pushback that I get, number one, it's the bold of days gone by. They look at it that it's a little antiquated. It's all about just cold calling. They aren't up to speed that we are looking at texting and other platforms for, contact and in that terms. I had somebody the other day bring up the exercise that we used to do about the I'm a money magnet, and you lay it on the floor and people showered you with $1 bills. They felt like that was not the most fulfilling for them and made them feel awkward. It's just, I think it's perception. They don't realize that Bold has evolved and kind of changed with the times.
So think that is exactly what I needed to hear. None of that stuff is in Bold anymore. Like you're not laying on the floor at all. Nobody's throwing money at you unless it's a client. And the other thing is with the we don't reference cold calling once in 7 sessions. We don't talk about cold calling at all. In fact, more of the agents talk about cold calling, and it makes me a little bit crazy on the coach side, because they're like, I'm so sick of FSBOs hanging up on me. I'm like, we never told you to call FSBOs. So we are focused on what always works, which is database driven business, which are person to person, literal, a relationship based business. And so I'm glad you said that, because I can work to get the message out. And yet if they've already written Bold off, then I'm the Bold person, right? So as you guys are having conversations, it's going to be important for you to say with confidence, with true legitimate confidence, that that stuff that they're concerned about is not even a part of Bold. I mean, that's from before COVID. Right. So if that's their last memory of Bold is cold calling and laying on the floor and having money thrown on you, that, like, Bold has been rewritten, has had 1 major rewrite and 2 updates since then. So just know that. And I don't just so you can have an insight into me as a person and a coach for a minute. When I auditioned to become a Bold coach, that was still happening. And when I found out they took specifically that out, and there were a couple of other very cute things that got taken out, I was like, thank God. Because I was so nervous about having to deliver that with a straight face and act in integrity. And so, that's gone. So that's where messaging comes in. And that's where the plan that I have for you should work. All right. And so I want to ask a couple of questions, and I please know that I actually do care about the answers. And this is just the coach in me coming out. Here comes somebody else. We are on real time. It's so fun. So I would love for a couple of you, and I don't want all of you. Now, if you're not going to speak up, that's fine. I'm not here to push or poke. And I do want you to think through this with me. I want you to think about the last time that you were so passionate about, could have just run through a wall. Like maybe it was a goal that you had, maybe it was a charitable cause that you were excited about, but you were just so passionate you could have just ran through the wall. There was nothing that could have stopped you from either achieving the goal or helping the cause or something like that. Would 1 or 2 of you share with me something that ties into that? Like you were so passionate, there was no stopping you. Who will share? I'm a super safe zone, by the way. I'll never repeat anything you say. Unless it's good, and then I'll change the name. We've got some awesome leaders in here. Nothing? You can't remember a time that you were super passionate about a goal?
I'm trying to think of something that would be relevant. I have no problem speaking up, but
I don't care if it's relevant to business. This could have been a personal goal. This could have been anything. So here's something else y'all should know about me as you're passing the message along to your agents. I cannot and will not coach to this much of a person. Like, I'm here with you guys and with the agents to coach to the whole person, because we can't just compartmentalize all the time. So it could be anything. So go for it. Kill the awkward silence.
DJ, can you think of something? Otherwise, I'll speak up. Or
go ahead.
Something.
Yeah.
I'll let you go first.
It has nothing to do with real estate.
Great.
First of the year, I decided I needed to make some changes in my diet. And I started this plan. It's called the Whole 30, and it's an elimination diet.
Yeah.
Not an easy one to stick to. And I bought the little day-by-day book where they told you probably what you were going to be feeling that day. And they kept talking about, you know, you're getting close to tiger blood. You're getting close. You're not there yet. And I think it was day 18 or 19. She said, okay, you've got tiger blood today. And I tell you what, I have never felt better in my adult life than I did that day. I totally bought into what she was saying and finished the plan. And on day 30, I think you know Brian Kemp, my OP.
Yeah.
We had his coach in town, and he invited a bunch of people out for dinner to, you know, celebrate and get to know her a little bit. So we went to a real nice restaurant in town here, Italian, and you know, spaghetti noodles were not on the Whole30.
No, they're not.
Yeah. So anyway, we had to order, and he said, "Do you want to split a bottle of wine?" I said, "No, thanks. I'll have some club soda." And had no pasta for dinner, had no bread. Just, he said, "Come on, you're done today." And I said, "I signed up for the Whole30. I'm going to do the Whole30. I didn't sign up for the Whole29." So I did it, and I felt amazing that I had accomplished that. It was not easy, and you know, I'm still trying to learn how to live with it, but I finished the Whole30. So I felt amazing.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Seriously, thank you for sharing that. That's really, really good. I'd love, if there's one more person that has something, I would love to hear it. I know a couple of you were going to speak up. Who else has got one more?
I am very passionate about our market center, running the models and systems of Keller Williams, and
Love it.
not being resistant, and to understand what is provided to them. So we are very passionate about that, right, DJ?
I love that. What's so important to you about that?
Well, when I stepped into leadership, I fell in love with the agent more than I fell in love with the consumer, which is why I stepped out of sales. And so we as leadership teams wake up every single day looking at our agents saying, how can we make their life better and how can we help them grow? And I don't go home at the end of the day feeling like I accomplished my day unless I did those activities. So every day we have to move forward in making our agents smarter and making their lives easier through the models and systems that are provided to them through Keller Williams.
So I love that. So I got two very different answers from people in two different roles. And what is in common is that in both instances, this is a personal thing. Like, you are, for personal reasons, you are passionate about the things. And I would venture to bet that if we continued to answer the same question and had infinite time so we could do so, I think if I could squeeze an answer out of all of you, it would boil down to that it's personal. And so here's where it gets interesting. In order for this to be a great bold launch, because between you and I, like, I don't have any desire to have an average bold. Like I want to shake it up. I want you guys to get people in there who would have never gone before. Of course, I want all the people that are going to go to every bold to be there. I want you to make some waves in your market center. In fact, I'd like to see you make some waves in your market by way of recruits and stuff like that. And in order to do that and to make this be a bold that, like, you literally would look back on and remember, you're all, and people will be watching this recording, those that couldn't make it, like, we all get to find our passion around this. And for some of you, you might need to have one-on-one conversations with me to really understand what bold can do. And I'm happy to do it, because if you don't believe in it at a high level, it's going to be really easy for you to just be like, oh, you're not interested. Okay, bye. And then we don't have a great bold. So I want to encourage you to look for your passion and to remember that the theme of personal, like, you might be talking to Joe Schmo agent who is giving you all the excuses that they're all going to give you. And you know Joe, and you know that Joe should be in the room. You know he needs change. You know he needs more control of his life and his income. And that's where I'm going to need you to remember that him not attending is personal. Like if he doesn't now, he's not getting any closer to his goals. He is missing his goals, so he's not a happy person. And none of you are in your role because you don't like people. Like you can't be in KW leadership unless you love people, because it's a hard role. So you've got to remember that there is a personal cost to every person who doesn't go to Bold. Right now, the next question and the last coachy question, I promise that I want to ask you, and then I'm going to give you my plan for how we succeed, is I'd love to ask, can you remember a time where someone took a stand for you? Like a legitimate, like you didn't have the strength to do X, Y, Z, and a friend, a colleague, a mentor, a coach was like, nope, you're doing it anyways, and here's why. Can any of you remember a time that somebody took a stand for you? An impactful one? Anybody? Yeah. Tell me about it. Whoever will. There's no judgment here. I know I'm asking all sorts of personal things and we never met. That's how I roll. And I promise I'll keep your trust. Tell me about it. Who took a stand for you and what did it look like? Who will go?
I can speak to that a little bit.
Yeah,
when
go for
I
it.
was first being called into leadership, rather than kind of what Anna said, I was falling out of love with the client and I was falling more in love with the agent. My TL at the time, I expressed interest in becoming a productivity coach.
Okay.
And we didn't even know how to start that role or what it looked like. So he took a stand and made the calls and got the information and kind of set me up for success in being able to launch our PC program here at the office. So had he not intervened at the time and took a stand for me to kind of create that role and create that opportunity, I wouldn't be sitting on this call. So that kind of led me down the pathway of leadership within the company. So
That's great. That's great. So that's that's like a full-on ripple effect, because that's more than 1 degree of separation. I won't say Kevin Bacon. Anybody else? Give me one more. I know somebody else has got something. Who stood up for you and what did it look like? Nobody?
When I was first an agent, my team leader asked me if I would step into leadership and work my way towards taking over for her. And I said, I don't think I'm ready. And I think I'm too young, and gave her all the reasons as to why not me. And I told her she should hire somebody else. And she said no. And she took a stand for me against me, which was really interesting, and invested in me, which has led to my career.
That's amazing. You know what? I'm gonna give you my answer to that question, because I'm pulling teeth a little bit, and I need your guys' trust in me. So let me be transparent for a moment. So in 2019, 2019 was the first year I ever made 7 figures. I'm a high school graduate only. Like I didn't come from a family where I was supposed to make 7 figures, and I was miserable. My personal life was going in a really good direction, and yet I was just so over the day-to-day of business and hiring agents and firing agents and then like going on appointments. I was over it. And like, who complains about that, right? And yet I was with one of my dearest friends who's also a Bold coach, and her name is Amber Rutherford. And she challenged me to become a Bold coach. She did it in front of a room of people in a Bold that I was in. It was the 15th of 15 Bolds I attended as an agent. And I was so mad at her in that moment, because she literally said to me, she's like, why aren't you up here instead of me? And I gave her all the excuses, like Anna was just talking about. I didn't think I was qualified to do this. I literally didn't think I was qualified. I didn't know what the qualifications were. And I was like, no, I don't know. I'm a student. Like, this is where I am. And she challenged me in front of a group, and she was like a dog with a bone, and she wouldn't back down until I agreed to at least apply. My life is so infinitely better because of that moment where I could not stand her, because she made me so uncomfortable in front of other people. And so, I mean, I would give anything to her for what she's done. She's probably over the thank yous because like at least once a quarter, I send some heartfelt thing. She's like, oh my God, I'll see you at dinner. We're good friends. It's like, stop. So I'm going to ask for you to take a stand for your agents. It's not going to be super fun every day. The results though will be. The people that will a month later, 2 months later, 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, 5 years later, when you forgot the conversation, who are going to reach out to you and be like, thank you so much for pushing me. I was being a real jerk that day. You got me to do the right thing. So I'm going to ask for you guys to not take the first no as we have conversations, because the first no is a load of you know what every time. Agents are great at it. So here's the plan, and we only got 5 minutes, and it's simple, so we have enough time. The first thing to do is, frankly, for you guys to go get through family reunion. Now, I think you should start conversations with people that you're with at family reunion. I definitely want you to start conversations with your ALC, because we don't succeed from the bottom up. We succeed from the top down. And here's the thing, when family reunion was over, I'd love to have it scheduled now. And yet when family reunion is over, the first thing we do is I need a FaceTime with your ALC meeting. If you don't have an ALC meeting soon enough, or maybe your agenda is full, I would ask that we work together to set up a time where I can get in front of your ALC meeting. Because if your ALC is bought into Bold, we will have an amazing Bold. And I can tell you from a lot of experience launching Bold over the past 4 years, if they're not all in, it's not fun. So the first thing is ALC. The second step is we are going to have an amazing Bold team meeting. Now, when I say Bold team meeting, you can't just give 10 minutes to the topic of Bold. We can't give them enough information and time to process to win. And what I've noticed is that in the last couple of years, because you guys are so busy, I'm a former team leader, by the way, I understand the world of KW leadership. We need to have a legitimate team meeting. So one of our leadership calls that we'll have, all I'm going to talk about is how we do that successfully, so that at that team meeting, we don't get 3 people signed up for first step. At that team meeting, we get 10 people, 20 people, 30 people signed up for full Bold. All right. And then outside of those 2 meeting things, honestly, all that I need for you to do is talk to everybody on your roster. And I know that sounds like a lot of work, and yet I'm not going to ask any one person to do it. You all have staffs of various sizes. And the easiest way to do this is to print out your roster, divide it however you choose. I mean, the team leader is going to start with the top people and then so on and so forth, right? You're going to have a red light, green light, yellow light system. Red light means you got a hard no, not a first no, like a real no, it's not happening. And that's okay. Not everyone's going to go to Bold. Green light means you got the yes, they're ready to go to full Bold. How amazing. Yellow light means they're on the fence and you're going to come back to them. And before you're, I want to make sure that you know that I understand that the idea of talking to everybody in your on your roster sounds like a lot. And I want to remind you that in a shifting market, now I know your market is not as crazy, and yet everybody's heard shift, so everybody's thinking shift. Your agents are getting recruited harder than they've been recruited in a very long time. And if their business is at all down, if they're at all fearful of the market, one of the first things an agent will do is look for greener pastures. So I want you to look at this as an opportunity to have amazing care connection conversations with your agents, to make sure that they know that you're listening. So this is not, hey, do you know Bold is coming? This is, hey, it's DJ. Hey, it's Dayla. Hey, it's Joanne, whoever's calling at Keller at your office. And I just wanted to check in with you. How are you? Let them answer. How's your business going? Are you on track to hit your goals? Most of them aren't, right? Then you're going to ask more questions. You're going to create a gap, and then Bold is the answer to fill the gap. If we lead with Bold, we lose. When we have personal conversations, we win. So, and that's it. Great ALC meeting, amazing Bold meeting. I will give you how to put that together. And then we're just going to talk to every one of our agents. And there's no way to lose doing that, because you're connecting. You're going to find out concerns and wins and stories that you didn't even know about. And those are the type of people that don't want to leave you when you care enough to actually talk to them about them. All right, so I know we only have a minute. What questions do you have? Do you think that will work? Oh, before you say that, one thing that I want to make sure that we know, and I'm just taking a picture of this note so I can follow up on it, is that I intend for this to be a top producer bold. Now, I'm not saying I don't want newer agents or mid-level agents coming. I just know that we have a better bold and you have a more secure market center when your top agents are doing the right things. If your top agents go to bold and your ALC goes to bold, other people will follow them. The motivated people will follow them, and we will have a wonderful bold. And in Cleveland, I had us over 100 people registered before step one. I didn't do it, actually. The leadership team did it, and we followed this very simple plan. So give me any questions you've got, and I know I've got to get you off here, and I did record this, and I'm going to send it out for those that couldn't come. What do we got? Any questions? Any ahas? Any limiting beliefs? Let me hear it.
Is it too soon to get you in front of our ALCs this week?
It would only depend on, will you text me, like, if I can
Yeah.
make it work, I'll do it. I'm all about sooner rather than later. It just depends on, I've got bold, then I've got travel, and I'm at family reunion 2 days early because of math. So just text me. If I can make it work, I'm there.
Got it.
What else? How do we feel about this bold? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. You guys, we are friends. We're going to be best friends over the next few months. Like, we're good. Okay, I see thumbs up. That's good. Go ahead, DJ.
I was just gonna say, I put in the chat the date and
I
time.
took a
for our
picture of it,
upcoming ALC. Perfect.
I'll
Get
message
together.
you and I would assume it'll work, and yet I need to look at my calendar. So that's fine. When I send this recording out, I will give a reminder. Guys, if you can let me know way in advance, when do you want me for ALC and when do you want me for your team meeting? We can still strategize before. I just want to get it on the calendar because just like you guys, my calendar is ridiculous. And what I'll also put in the email, because I don't want to take any more of your time, we need to choose a time for our ongoing leadership calls, which will start after family reunion. So don't worry. So I have like 5 different time slots available on Mondays and Fridays. I will send you the options and we're just going to go with majority rules. Okay. Awesome. Thank you guys for your time. And I meant what I said earlier. If you don't feel like you really get bold, or maybe you have some limiting beliefs about bold, please reach out to me directly. I will talk with you. Our conversation will be confidential. I don't care. When we all are going in the same direction, we will be unstoppable and we will max out whatever size space Dela finds us. And if we don't work together, it'll just be an okay bold. And I'm looking for you guys to have an excellent experience. All right. I appreciate you guys. Go have an amazing day. And I will be at family reunion for all the things. So I would also just text me. I will come hunt you down and find you if you tell me where you are. And I would love to put a real live 3D face to the name. Okay.
Did you put your cell phone number in the chat, or would you?
I will here. And then you're going to start getting emails like all the time.
Right.
Sorry in advance. There's my phone number. Take a picture of it because we're going to end here in a second. That's my cell phone. Reach out anytime. Okay.
I'm sharing it with you, Rachel.
I already got it.
Awesome.
Thank you. Oh, thank
All
you,
right.
Badela.
All right, my friends, have an amazing day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you.